Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this one, I want to give a trigger warning because we are going to be talking about, sexual molestation. And if you are a survivor of sexual molestation, my heart goes out to you. You were robbed of your innocence and it wasn't your fault. And whoever did that to you is, the one who is responsible for it all and is at blame for all of it. Now, healing from early sexual molestation is quite challenging. It is difficult. Early sexual abuse does set the tone for a challenging life. There are numbers about this that survivors of sexual molestations tend to have lower sense of self, or lower self-esteem, lower self-confidence, and that I think it was 70% of sex workers are survivors of sexual molestation. So it does set the tone for a challenging life, but it is possible to recover, I guess, in some way. I feel like, and my therapist told me this once and I never forgot, you never truly heal from something like this. It's just something that, you learn how to live with it, I guess. Hopefully you develop, healthy coping mechanism for triggers, but it is not something that one's ever sadly fully recover from. Obviously, hopefully the way that, one's deal with it at 20 is not the same way that one's deal with it at 30 and 40, but it's not something that, one can totally erase from the mind. It's not, sadly, something like this, something as earth-shattering as this just doesn't work this way. Now, if you're trying to heal from sexual abuse, I feel like this book is a great place to start. It is the Courage to Heal workbook from Laura Davis for women and men survivors of child sexual abuse. And it is a huge book. You guys, as you can see, this book is ginormous. It has something like, 460 pages, so that's a whole lot. Okay, it's a ginormous book. It is a workbook. And as reading through this book, it's going to be really important to practice self-care, okay? Because this is a workbook, so it kind of like re-traumatize you in a way, because you have to answer questions, and some of these questions, in order to be able to answer them, you have to think back of the event. So in order to recover, remember the details. So it is a very, very difficult book to read. Give yourself time. If you're going to go through this book, if you're going to go this road, I'm going to put an Amazon link, or at least the name, in the comment section. If you're gonna go this road, make sure that you give yourself time, give yourself weeks, months, however long you need, because this is a tedious read, okay? Now, another way that you can heal from sexual molestation is, don't think of yourself as a victim of sexual abuse. It's going to be important to think of yourself as a survivor of sexual abuse. The way we think of stuff and the way we frame stuff and phrase them matters, okay? You survived. Whatever these people's goal was, they did not succeed, okay? You are grown, you are safe now. I think it's important to practice grounding. If you feel triggered, maybe you've seen something on the Shade Room, which I don't recommend anyway, but maybe someone is talking about sexual abuse and you feel triggered. It's going to be important, whether you're at home or whether you're in the street, to really put your feet like in contact to the ground. Make sure that you touch the ground solidly, and remind yourself, I'm safe, I'm out of there, I'm here, I'm with my friends, or I'm watching the news, I'm at home. This is really important. Think of yourself as someone who made it out, because you did, you survived, okay? If you're watching this video right now, you have the internet right now, thank God you're out. So it's going to be important to remind yourself of that. Now, a third thing that I want to say is that be mindful of who you share this with. I guess this is not a tip for healing, but it kind of is. You have a lot of assholes out here and a lot of insensitive people, so this is not information that I recommend, unless you're somebody who is very confident like I am and who can clap back. This is not something that I recommend you go back and just tell any and everyone. Some people are just very insensitive. They make comments like, oh, why can't you just get over it, and stuff like that, which can be extremely triggering. So be very, very mindful who you share this type of information with. If you're a single woman who is dating, I do not recommend disclosing this relationship early, information rather, sorry, early in the relationship at all. I'm not saying never disclose, but I'm saying I think this is something that you need to keep for you until you vetted this man, until you're sure that this man is safe. I guess, I don't know, I can't give a time frame here because it will have to do with how safe you are, but I guess a couple of months, couple of years in the relationship, I guess disclose if you want to. At the end of the day, you don't owe anyone to tell them that you are a survivor of sexual abuse, by the way, so don't feel like pressed to to have to tell anyone this is not something that you owe anybody. You know, you don't owe people this type of sensitive information about yourself. If you want to disclose, do so. If you don't want to, don't. Again, you don't owe people this. Okay, now another thing that you can do in order to heal from sexual abuse is reconnect with your inner child, you know, because, you know, if you were violated as a child, your innocence was stolen. So if there is something that you really liked, that you really enjoyed as a child, you know, try to do that, engage in those activities even as an adult. I know that for me it's swimming, and also, you know, I love to read this book. It was called Tom Tom and Nana, and I really loved to read it as a child. My mom would get it for me when she would travel on business trips, and, you know, I ordered it on Amazon like a year ago or something, and it's something that I like to read sometimes. And, you know, it does make me cry, I'm not gonna lie, but, you know, it is still, you know, nice in a way. I don't know how to feel it, how to explain it, but it is in a warm way. You know, it does help me connect with the little girl that I once was, and that is something that is nice. I also bought the perfume that I used as a child. You know, that scent also helped me reconnect with my inner child. Actually, it was a gift from a friend of mine, so shout out to you. You will recognize yourself if you watch this video, you know. So that was really nice and thoughtful of her. And, you know, sometimes I just spray it on my wrist and smell on it, and it does, you know, help me reconnect with the broken little girl that I once was. Another way to heal from sexual molestation is by confronting your abuser. Now, I do not recommend doing this physically at all. Okay, this is something that, you know, if you want to do that, then I guess weigh in, you know, the for and the against. But, you know, if that person, you know, was physically violent in the past, best believe they can be it again. So as I, you know, do this by letter, it's something that I recommend more. You know, write a letter to them, you know, about how that made you feel. Write a letter to yourself about it, you know. And again, this is going to be very emotional, so, you know, make sure you're alone as you're engaging in this, you know, and go back, you know, and read the letters and then burn them or keep them as you want to do. If you want to physically confront the person who did this to you, I say proceed with caution. Make sure you're safe, make sure there are other people around you, make sure that this person is not, you know, capable of harming or hurting you. You know, perhaps they're very old right now or stuff like that, and they can't physically harm you anymore. But, you know, be very careful and be very mindful if you want to physically, you know, confront your abuser. Now, these are all of the tips that I have when it comes to recovering from early sexual abuse. You know, practice self-care, get massages, get your nails done, you know, make yourself an absolute priority. Love on yourself, okay? Do affirmations, okay? Remind yourself of the truth of who you are. I talk about this all the time in this channel because it's so important, okay? Remind yourself that you are a warrior, that you are a survivor, that you made it out, that you are safe, okay? Post it everywhere, okay? On your fridge, on your bathroom, you know, inside your wardrobe, everywhere, okay? On your ceilings, everywhere, okay? To remind yourself of the truth of who you are is going to be paramount in this world, okay? You guys, if you made it to the end of this video, I'm grateful and appreciative of you. Please do not forget to like, you know, comment in the comment section down below, and, you know, subscribe to my channel for more content about any and everything, you know, whatever it is I feel like talking about on a particular, on any given day, okay? And I will talk to you guys as I always do soon. Bye guys. Mwah.